What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Um, I swear, it's so much drama going on behind the scenes with the soap actors. I mean, I don't understand what's in the water these days, but everybody just lost their minds on social media today. I mean, Nancy Lee Grahn and Ingo Rademacher, who play Alexis and Jax, they've been kind of feuding with each other for a little minute now. And it stems from this vaccine and all that stuff, and now every other actor is joining into the fray. The fans were on Twitter putting a hashtag fire Ingo or whatever. They were calling for him to be fired because he doesn't believe in the whole vaccine thing or being, people being forced to take it and it's their choice and blah blah blah. Nancy Lee is upset because, she goes to work and, some of her co-stars are not wearing their mask and some of the staff members are not wearing their mask and they're not like some of them are just not vaccinated and she's not okay with that. Um, so of course Kimberly McCullough, who played Robin Scorpio, she chimed in and basically she was against Ingo, who plays Jax. She was not here for, the shit he was talking or whatever. It's just a lot of drama. And I think Frank Valentini, ABC, they need to get on top of this shit. They need to reel everybody in. And I think that's the reason why we haven't really been seeing Alexis and Jax interact in a while, because of the behind the scenes shit that's going on. I mean, notice that Jax, I don't even think that he's visited Alexis since she's been in prison, when she was in Pentonville or the new place. So I think that's the reason behind that. Yeah, they need to get this shit together. It's just a lot of drama. So anyway, getting into today's episode, I did like the Ava and Nicholas scenes. I really did. I hate that Ava feels she has to move away because pretty much she's talking about going to Europe for a while, dealing with a couple artists out there and all that stuff, just to get away for a little minute. There's no timetable pretty much on how long she's planning on being gone. And Nicholas is hoping that it's not permanent. I don't think her leaving is permanent. She might not even leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole thing might get resolved before she even hops on a plane. It could. It might. I'm hoping. I would hate for her to leave. I would hate for Ava to have to. It sucks that she feels like she has to go halfway around the world, just to get away. And I really don't think that her stalker situation is going to be solved if she leaves. I really don't. I think it's probably going to get worse even if she leaves. Who's to say that the stalker won't follow her wherever she is? Whoever this shit, whatever's going on. Because we don't really know the players totally behind this. I mean, we know Esme is involved, Spencer is involved. Ryan, we really don't know what his state is because they say he's a vegetable or he's got that locked in syndrome, but we don't really know what the fuck going on with that. Um, so anyway, speaking of Esme, this girl is definitely trouble, and you know what? It speaks volumes when a person like Harmony pretty much comes up to Alexis and lets her know. She was like, "Yeah, you need to steer clear of her because she's trouble." And this is coming from Harmony, so that's saying a lot. Um, and she basically was telling Alexis like Spencer needs to steer clear of this girl, like she's dangerous. Um, because Alexis was sitting there trying to tell Spencer like he needs to let go of his anger towards his father and show some forgiveness, and they need to fix their relationship. When Esme came back to that table, she was not happy to hear that. She immediately was like, "Oh, I think visiting hours are up, we should go." She was not happy because she wants this little game that she's playing to continue. I don't even know what her end game is. Like, what is her target goal? Like, what are you trying to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is your real target here? Is it Nicholas, Ava, both? Are you using Spencer to get some type of Cassadine funds? Like, what are you up to? You know what I mean? She's definitely using Spencer. That's no question. She's using that kid. And that's why I said before, like Spencer needs to steer clear of this girl. Like he needs to ditch her like yesterday. Um, because before she went over to see Ryan, she knew what the fuck locked in syndrome was. She knew what it was. But when she went over to Ryan and Harmony, she tried to act like she didn't know what it was. She was asking Harmony to break down the illness to her and stuff. Um, and she seemed very fascinated by Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Telling him, oh, I want to go to medical school. I want to yada, yada, yada. And Ryan was just blinking and stuff. And Harmony was like, he was basically saying that she need to go or whatever. So Esme is talking about, oh, I'll be back, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, Esme, you are nuts. Like, now you're talking about going to PCU. You're hanging around Ryan, trying to, talking about he's fascinating and his condition is fascinating. I'm like, yo, this girl just got a lot of shit going on. Everybody in that town need to watch their back because this chick is nuts. Like, she's fried. Um, there's rumors I know that people were saying that she could be Ryan's daughter. There's a possibility. It's possible. But I don't know what her true goal is. Like, what is she trying to do is my question. Like, I'm trying to figure this shit out. And I guess they're going to flesh her out more. But she's definitely, Silence of the Lambs creepy. Definitely. The girl got problems. Spencer needs to watch his back. So anyway, moving on from that. Jax continues to work my fucking nerves. Him and Carly continue to argue. He wanted to start over. He was like, I hate how the dinner went for Jocelyn. I want to start over. But as soon as Jason came in with one of their associates, one of the members of the five families, Buscema, whatever his name is, they greeted Carly or whatever and went over to the bar. Jax went into bitch mode. Like, he was just not here for it. And once he heard that dude was coming to the wedding, Jax was flipping. He was tripping. Jax felt like if that dude was any indication of what the guest list was going to be like for Carly and Jason's wedding, there was no way in hell he wanted Jocelyn at that wedding. He's sitting there talking about, oh, Jocelyn's not coming to your wedding. Jax, that is not your call. Jocelyn's an adult now. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Carly's forcing Jocelyn to come to the wedding. She wants to come to the wedding. And Carly made it known Jocelyn's not only going to be at the wedding, she's going to be the maid of honor. Like, Jax is sitting there talking about something, oh, if our daughter dies, at least you're going to be warm with Sonny's blood money. I'm like, Jax, why are you speaking that into existence? Like, I understand he's nervous. Like I said, I get where Jax is coming from. He has concerns. Who wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody with some sense would have some concerns. But walking away from the mafia is not that simple. It's really not. That's why I said when Sonny tried to retire from it 4 years ago, he asked the five families for protection. You know what I'm saying? Like, because even if you walk away, you still made enemies over the years. And once you walk away from the mob, you lose that protection. You don't have bodyguards like that anymore. You're not connected to the underworld anymore. You're officially an outsider. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he needed protection, because his family would be vulnerable without it. You remember when Sonny handed over his business to Jason back in 2008, he had no power. None whatsoever. Nobody was scared of him anymore because he held no power. He didn't even really have any guards anymore. You know what I'm saying? Once you step down, you lose that power. And that's not good. You're vulnerable as shit. And that's what Jackson needs to understand. Like, I'm tired of him bitching about this. And I do agree with Jason to an extent. It feels like Jax does not know Carly at all. Like, this is a woman that you were married to for, 6 years they were married? And you would think that he would know her better than this. Like, come on. She would never purposely, after everything she went through with her own kids, with her other children, you think she would just want Jocelyn? Like, she would protect Jocelyn with her life. We all know that. Hell, she went through a hard birth with that girl. She went through a hard pregnancy. If that ain't dedication, I don't know what is. She had a high-risk pregnancy. She risked her life during that pregnancy for that girl to bring her into the damn world. I remember when Sonny was against it because of what could happen. If Carly got stressed, she could have died. She could have had a stroke, a blood clot and a stroke, and she could have died. And Sonny was so against that pregnancy because he was thinking about the other kids that they already got. And Carly didn't care. She loved her boys, but she wasn't about to lose a child. You know what I mean? She did that. She put her life on the line for that baby. She knew the risk, and she still said, fuck it, I'm going to go ahead with the pregnancy. So if that's not, a sign to Jax, if that doesn't tell Jax that Carly cares about their daughter, I don't know what will. Like, what more do you need? So of course, when Jax found out Maxie was planning this wedding, of course he wasn't too happy about it. He wanted to know about Nina and stuff like that. And Maxie was like, "Well, shit, don't look like Nina coming back home no time soon. She might not be coming home pretty much ever, like on a full time basis." And he was surprised by that, and she was like, "Yeah, she met some new dude down there or whatever." So you never know with Jax, because once he heard that, he was probably like thinking in his head, like maybe I should make a little trip down to Nixon Falls again and figure out that mess. Um, Maxie needs to really be worried and be careful around Austin, because you never know. Austin might know everything that's going on. Because I do remember him saying that the night that that situation happened with the baby and stuff, and Maxie gave birth, he heard two women talking, which would be BLQ and Maxie. So you never know what he might remember. He could be just toying with them. He probably remembered days ago, maybe even weeks ago, and he probably just messing around with them, acting like he don't know shit. You never know with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So she needs to be very careful and very, wary around him. Um, so of course Scott is all happy and shit about this new information with the will, but he said, it's gonna take a little while to snake its way through the court system. Scott was happy as shit about St. Lucia. That's what he was worried about. He was all giddy because he told Austin, he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna be out of town. I'm going to St. Lucia." He was all happy and shit to be going with his boo. But at one point it looked like that might not be happening, because Obrecht was like, "I don't know if now is the right time," because she got the phone call from Nina about Peter. Nina called in the big guns because she need help with him. He's threatening, Obrecht's grandson and stuff like that. And, Obrecht not having it. Obrecht was like, "Over my dead body, I kill him." You know, so she basically came up with an idea after talking to Scott and stuff, where he was like, nobody would notice if you ducked in and out of the conference or whatever. So she got an idea. She called Nina back and was like, "Listen, tell Peter that Anna and Valentine pulled up a lead in St. Lucia." You know what I mean? Like, kind of get him the hell out of Nixon Falls or whatever. And she'll take care of the rest. I said, Obrecht, I love when Obrecht is scheming. I love it because she got a good plan in mind. Um, I don't understand why Phyllis is not listening to Sonny when it comes to Peter. Like, Phyllis was just pretty much like, reprimanding Sonny for, being rude to Peter or whatever, because she feels like, okay, this is Nina's guest, you should be more nice. But you should know by now. Phyllis should know. After that whole Elijah situation, Sonny was right about Elijah, that he was up to no good. So you would think after that situation, she would respect his instincts by now. You know what I'm saying? If he was right about that person, why wouldn't he be right about this one? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to go with your gut instinct. I love this because I'm a vibes kind of person. That's how I am. Before I speak to somebody, I get to know your aura, like your vibe. As soon as you come in contact with me, I know if I like you or not. Especially once you start talking. You know what I mean? I go off of vibes, and that's what Sonny did. He didn't even have to really talk to Peter, when he first met him. He just went off the vibe, like the body language of him and Nina, the facial expressions, and he quickly deduced, like, oh, Nina don't like this fool, so he must be trouble. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta read the room, and that's what Sonny's good at. He's good at a lot of times reading the fucking room, even with amnesia. It's that common sense. You know what I'm saying? With your memories, with no memories, it's just common sense. Read the goddamn room, read the faces, read the room. Read the body language. You gotta just pay attention. You know what I mean? So, and that's what Sonny's doing right now. So basically, Peter is continuing with his threats towards Nina. Now he's giving her a deadline. She got 24 hours to get him the information that he wants, or, people that she care about are going to be eliminated. They're going to get hurt. I was like, well, Nina, you steer his ass to St. Lucia so Obrecht could take care of him. You know what I mean? But Nina also need to think, like, the jig is up. Your whole plan is just combusting right in front of you. It's falling apart at this point. You might as well just let that man snitch. So anyway, moving on from that. Carly and Jason. I wanted to, like, when they were getting all cozy with each other, they were about to kiss. I was so happy when Carly pulled back from that kiss and ran off and was like, "Oh, I got work to do." I said, thank God. When I see Carly and Jason together, I just, like, in a romantic look, like in a romantic setting or something, it's just, Cause they look like brother and sister. Like they act like siblings. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't see them as a for this is my opinion. I can't see them as a couple. I'm so used to just seeing them as just friends. And that's all I want to see them as. You know what I'm saying? Them as a couple, booed up. I don't see it. I really don't. It just looks awkward to me. You know, them all kissing and hugging. Yeah, no. It just don't look right. It looks very weird. Her and Sunny, that looks right. Her and Jax, that looks right. Her and a telephone pole, that looks right. Her and Jason, no. I just don't see it for me. It's like for me, this is my opinion. I don't see it. It's like, it looks like incest. It's like no, ill. It's like when and I think that's why Carly pulled away from him. Not because of that per se. It's just she's been feeling weird about their relationship for a hot second now. Sometimes with Carly, she just seems a little hot and cold. One minute she be talking like she want Jason to be her man, like her real man. And then the next minute it's like you're weirded out by it, and I don't know. She just seemed like she going through the change, like you bipolar or something. Like what's going on with you? Do you want him sexually or not? Let me know. But getting back to that conversation that Jason was having with one of the five family members, he was on Jason's side. He's not. He seemed like he not fond of the Novaks because he was like, the Novaks, especially Joey, need to be reined in. Joey's a fucking hothead, and the one thing you don't need in any profession, especially the mafia, you don't need a fucking hothead because that leads to trouble. That's bad business. You know what I'm saying? Hotheads make dumb decisions in the heat of the fucking moment. That's what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? Because one bad decision could bring a lot of police, and when you bring the police, that means it fucks up everybody's money. That's what you don't want. You know what I mean? So hopefully Jason could trust this guy, and they're on the same page, and he has an ally now. Because Jason, he's gonna need an ally. You know what I mean? Like Jason can't do all of this by himself. So you're gonna need somebody to be there with you. So anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what y'all thought about this episode, and I will see you all later. I hope you all have a great weekend. See you all Monday. Peace.